So this is the shoulder physical therapy routine that I've been following to address some issues I've had with this shoulder, because I don't want to have to just stop pressing movements. You know, they're a big part of my routines, and I'm stubborn that way. I would rather try to address the underlying issue. You know, I still take a day off here and there if it becomes particularly bothersome. You know, you have to kind of judge, well, is this going to make it worse? Or, you know, the goal is that it's gradually getting better over time while still allowing you to continue with your program and making progress there. So if you can meet those criteria, you're doing good. So these first couple movements are ones that I do almost every day, you know, regardless of what workout I did that day or what I am going to be doing the next day. I mean, obviously, you know, you got your regular rolls, you know, we'll do like 10 this way and 10 that way. And then you got your hugs, you know, just do this like 10 times. And I usually do these like before my first big pressing movement on a given day. And then come down here in the evenings, because I do my workouts in the morning. And normally what I'll do is I'll take some collagen about 45 minutes before my PT routine. So collagen with minimum of 100 milligrams of vitamin C. The collagen I take is collagen peptides, and I think it's about 7.5 grams of collagen per tablespoon. I'll take 1 tablespoon, and sometimes when I remember, I'll take a tablespoon before my workout also. You basically want to time it so you're taking it about 30 to 60 minutes before any physical activity that's going to be using the joints and tendons that you want to, you know, help repair. So this one is a shoulder dislocator, and it's not as scary as it sounds, but I use the lightest band for this. So, and we're basically going like this. But I do that about 10 times. So the next one I do is banded pull aparts, and I grab a little heavier band, just like this. And I'll do 1 set of 20 or 2 sets of 15, same deal. Then I have this one that, you know, is a little heavier one, and you can just find any place that you can hook it onto so that you can pull it and not have it, you know, fly off or anything. But this is for the rotator cuff also. The banded pull aparts was for the rotator cuff too. So basically just, you know, pull it towards you. You want to start with a little tension on the outside. Side. And again, I do 1 set of 20 or 2 sets of 15. Start with 10 or whatever, depending. But if it seems, you know, way too easy, you can add more. You know, I just kind of worked up to what I'm at now. Okay, and then these can be done with bands too, but I didn't really have any bands that were long enough to reach that I wanted to use, so I just use really light dumbbells. And these are just holds, just static holds. The first one is for the front, so you have your hands kind of in this configuration, and you want to raise them a little bit above your shoulders, and just hold that for 30 seconds. And then slow, controlled lowering, and then you do another one with just your hands like out like this, but kind of almost a 45 degree, so like you're doing lateral raises, only with your hands a little more forward and a little above your shoulders. Hold that for 30 seconds. And I'll do that, 1 to 3 times, just depending on how pressed for time I am. Alright, and then we have the YTWA Rows. And I do these maybe once or twice a week. Sometimes I don't even get to them because I plan them around when I haven't just done a big upper body workout and when I don't have a big upper body workout coming the next day. So, there's only maybe 3 days of the week when that might happen. But yeah, when I can fit these in, I do these. And I recommend just starting with no weight because, yeah, it's going to be challenging enough and it's going to do what it needs to do. We're not trying to kill ourselves here. These are just to send signals. So first you got your Y rows. So you want your hands in a neutral grip, thumb pointing up, and just do them slow and controlled. Kind of hold it for a second at the top. Start with 10 of those, work your way up to 15 to 20. And then your T rows, you want your thumb pointing down. And again, same, start with 10, work your way up to 15 or 20. It's going to be the same on all these. And then you got your W rows. And then you have your A rows. So this is kind of another variation on a rotator cuff exercise. And that's pretty much it. Main thing, again, just use light enough resistance that you can do them controlled and be able to hold it at the top of the movement for a second. That's about it. If I have a lot of time, I'll do like 2 sets of each, but I mostly will maybe just do 1 set of each, 1 set of 15. And yeah, I hope that helps.